certified by WeatherRate as Central Illinois' most accurate for the 5th year running. This is your WCIA 3 Forecast First, sponsored by Napleton's Kia of Urbana.
I'm on the Matex Heating and Cooling Weather Garden because really today is about the best day to come out here. It's not exactly the warmest. We're only at 56 in Champaign. It's warmer in Decatur at 60, 63 in Effingham, but only 51 in Pontiac due to more clouds up in our northeast corners there. It's been windy too, coming in out of the west-northwest direction between about 15 close to 30 miles per hour. And so we're going to be noticing less wind as we go through our night tonight, but clouds will remain. Chilly though, we dropped down to 38 tonight. WCIA 3, your local news leader, starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3
A family is left
News.
with nothing after a fire. I'll have more for you coming up.
Basically, the corn and soybeans can survive for about 24 hours underwater.
But what happens after that? Will all this rain and now colder temperatures make a major dent in this year's crop?
Lawmakers have 1 month left to pass a budget. Where are their priorities? Coming up, I'll have details.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6 in high definition.
Yeah, we were just here a little bit over a month.
And now they have nothing. Fire destroyed their home and left them with only the clothes they were wearing. Good evening. I'm Aaron Bennett.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. We first told you about this fire yesterday in Urbana on East Park Street. But today, we are learning the dramatic details of what happened. WCIA 3's Caitlin Connolly live at the scene. Caitlin, where was the family when the fire started?
Jennifer, the family says that they were all out of the house during the fire. Now, the man was actually walking down this sidewalk right here when he heard the loud beeping of the smoke alarms. That's when he saw fire and smoke pouring out of the roof right there.
Everything in there is basically gone, everything.
The smell of smoke is still lingering in this home.
It's bad. I mean, you can only, as soon as you walk out of here, you stink like a fire, you know, so, and it doesn't wash out.
The Martin family is homeless after moving in just 7 weeks ago.
I looked through this window right here and I seen the flames were coming up, you know, in between the microwave, up above the microwave, and all through the ceiling, everywhere. Everywhere, everything was just burning.
Most of their possessions are lost, but some cherished items can be found beneath the soot.
I'm pretty sure if you was to like dig down in here, you'd find a whole bunch of different pictures that we've drawn for Mom and Dad.
But Martin says none of that matters anymore.
I'm not really worried about the stuff that was inside. You know, that dog was my best friend, man.
Their 1-year-old pit bull Prince is now gone.
He was the best dog there was.
Knowing his family was out, he ran into the house to save his dog.
I was hauling for my dog and I couldn't make it that far in there, so I couldn't breathe.
The smoke was too heavy.
The heat was found in the bathtub. They tried to bring him back. They worked on for like 45 minutes and couldn't bring him back.
As the family deals with their loss, they still question what started the fire.
There's this wire right here. It's not supposed to be wired up like that. It goes, and then there's the circuit breaker box. It's got stuff on it that's not supposed to be on there.
They're just glad they're all safe and can start to move forward.
Kind of one step at a time.
Now, the family says that the fire department and Red Cross have been extremely helpful during this. They actually put them up in a hotel last night, and the family actually just called to let me know that the city of Urbana has paid for them to have a hotel room for an entire week. Jennifer?
Oh, that's some good news. All right, thank you for a family that's been through so much. The state fire marshal is still investigating what caused the fire. We reached out to the landlord. He says he'll talk to us tomorrow. The family does not have renter's insurance.
Farmers have spent the last few days waiting for their fields to dry out, and more rain could be on the way. We told you much of central Illinois got 3 to 5 inches of rain over the weekend. The storms did damage some crops, and a farmer we spoke with says some crops can withstand more water than others.
Almost 3 weeks for corn, and the corn is about 3 inches tall, doing okay, except where it's drowned. Soybeans, I've had some beans in the ground for almost a week. They're just popping through. Some of them are in shock because it's so cold, and cold weather is not soybean weather.
Warfel planted his corn about 3 weeks ago and his soybeans a little more than 1 week ago. Well, the story seems to be the same really across the state for farmers as the rain kept them out of the fields. Last week, there were only 3 days considered suitable for field work throughout Illinois. The good news is more than 60% of the corn is already in the ground, and about 20% of that is already starting to come up. That's a little bit better than the 5-year average. Well, the countdown is on to pass the state budget.
So there's a deadline, but we have been here before. Does it make a difference? WCIA3's Emily Fannin live at the Capitol. Emily, the Senate was back today. The House has this week off. What are you hearing there about if a budget's going to pass?
Well, Jennifer, in the Senate today, they did not vote on any budget bills. And when I was talking to some lawmakers today, a lot of them were on some different pages. Some lawmakers are hopeful we can get this done with just 30 days left until the deadline. Others are kind of shrugging their shoulders and waiting until the next governor's election in 2018. However, what is on the table right now in the Senate is we have the Senate grant bargain and this taxpayer bargain bill package that was just thrown into the mix. Now, with the deadline just 30 days away, what we could see being called over these next few days in the Senate to give some people relief is the House measure called the Lifeline budget, which would fund human services and higher education. It passed the House, and while we don't know when it will be called in the Senate, some feel they much rather see a full budget than temporary ones. Now, lawmakers are pleased to hear that House Speaker Michael Madigan and Governor Rauner met for the first time since December. And now, despite that meeting, like I was talking about before, lawmakers are kind of on some different pages. So we're not sure where a lot of their priorities are. Now, for that taxpayer bargain that I was talking about, I did talk to the bill sponsor. He says it did make it out of assignments, and it will likely be called in for a committee hearing as early as next week. However, this measure that they're trying to pass in the Senate is mainly supported by Republicans, so it will be hard to get some tough votes in the Senate. For now, live in the Capitol, Emily Fannin, WCIA3, your local news leader.
And information on that taxpayer bargain is going to be coming out?
Yes, like I said, it just came out of the assignments, which means it will now be headed to a committee. So if it does pass out of a committee, then it will head to the Senate floor. As for a timeline, Jennifer, I am not sure when it will be out of a committee.
Okay, thank you so much, Emily. Now, some legislation the Senate passed today would protect drinking water that comes from the Muhammad Aquifer. Another would update Illinois' genetic privacy law. It prevents employers from requiring genetic testing as a requirement for employment. And how is the lack of a state budget affecting you? It's our sound off at 6 tonight. Now is your chance to unload. Go to our Facebook page, post a comment. We're going to pick and choose some of them for later in the newscast.
Well, springtime brings with it the risk of severe weather. We'll show you how some grade schoolers got a lesson in what to do in case of a tornado.
Also tonight.
The reception has been off the chart, fantastic.
New Illinois basketball coach Brad Underwood talks one-on-one with our Brett Behrens about his first 6 weeks in Champaign.
It was another cool day across central Illinois. We only got to a high of 59 here, below our average of 70. Coming up, though, we're still talking about cooler than normal temperatures. A chance for a spotty shower on Saturday, but really the main focus is the rain the next few days. Next.
Live from your local news leader, Jennifer Roscoe, Aaron Bennett, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast, and Brett Behrens on sports. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 6.